To New York Jets fans, welcome to a live segment of Jets Talk here on Knicks Bros TV. This is by far one of my favorite parts of the season. It happens once every 4 years. This is a time for me and my brother just to pick on each other, go back and forth. To me, a lot of people consider this not it not being a rivalry, and it's not a rivalry. I kind of find it very difficult for a rivalry to take place when you play each other once every 4 years or play each other a preseason game that doesn't mean anything. But again, it's a awesome healthy rivalry. Again, rivalry. I use the word for us to just kind of get back at each other, back and forth. This is something that means a lot more in the tri-state area than it would anywhere else in the United States or worldwide. There really isn't much of a New York State type of a rivalry, to be quite honest. The one that just sticks out to me is the Islanders and the Rangers. That's probably the one that I would consider it to be an actual rivalry. Those two teams really don't like each other. The Mets and the Yankees, me being a Mets fan, my brother being a Yankees fan, isn't much of a rivalry just because of how irrelevant the Mets have been until obviously last year. And again, I apologize for the comments. For some odd reason, my channel doesn't allow me for you guys to leave your comments. But if you want to hit me up on Twitter at Knicks Bros TV, that's cool. But yeah, Yankees Mets, not much of a rivalry. But it's with the Mets doing good, maybe that can kind of progress going forward. I kind of honestly consider the Nets and the Knicks to be a decent rivalry going forward. Excuse me for that. That's because the Nets, the way they came in town and trash talked us and stuff like that, consider that to be much more of a rivalry, and that would happen on Friday. But the Nets aren't doing fairly well this season. Let's get into Jets and Giants talk. I want to kind of touch base on a couple of things I've heard, on YouTube, and I kind of tuned into the TTC thing, but I respect a lot of the guys. I had Bad Dog on here before, cool guy. I've had Bones on here as well. Really awesome Giants fans. I don't have a problem with the Giants. I was celebrating with my brother when the Giants beat the Patriots. I hate the Patriots. I root for New York in general, for the most part. But there's a couple of things I've been seeing as far as the Giants fans talking or the Jets fans, their thoughts or whatnot. I want to kind of dig into a topic that always comes up. Is who's more of a New York team? To be quite honest with you guys, if you really look at it, we're both a New Jersey-based team. We both play in New Jersey. But the one funny thing I always hear is Jets fan or the Jets are the New Jersey team, and the Giants are the more New York team. I don't know how that is because pulling up facts, looking at certain things. The Yankees. The Giants played in Yankee Stadium till 1975, I believe, and they actually shared the stadium with the Jets at Shea Stadium before they went to their new home in 1976, which was in New Jersey, called the Giants Stadium. Now, I wasn't, alive then. I was too young for it to begin with. But I got some old head, Jets fans and Giants fans I speak with, and a lot of them, say some fans turned their back on the Giants and called them the New Jersey Giants. At that time, the Jets were still the New York team playing in Long Island, and they played in Shea Stadium till 1983 before they moved and joined Giants Stadium. And there's no denying that. It was the Giants' home in New Jersey. One of the coolest things about Jets back then is when I sit back and I speak with the old heads is they consider the Jets team a much more of a personable team when they were on Long Island. I mean, fans interacted more with the players. it was more of a cozy, homey kind of a feel with the team. That's during the Joe Namath era, the sack exchange era. It was they played and trained in Hofstra University's campus, so it was definitely considered a Long Island, New York team. I mean, we all kind of get it. Usually, the Jets fans tend to be Mets fans, and that's just because of the geographical region where the teams kind of started. Not to say, I mean, I have friends that are Yankee fans and Jets fans, but mostly, Jets fans do reside in New Jersey, Long Island area, where Giants fans are mostly in Manhattan, uptown New York, Bronx area. But that doesn't mean you can't find fans, a Giant fan within Long Island. That's not true. So if you honestly, truly think about it, the true New York team is the Buffalo Bills. But, as far as MetLife Stadium is concerned, I consider it to be both of our homes. So if you guys have beef with me, please leave your comment below. I'll make sure I'll delete it right away. No, I'm just kidding. But that's just kind of it. I mean, we really haven't played much of a significant games with each other. It's usually preseason games. But this game really, truly means something. I'm not going to sit here and brag over preseason wins. That's silly. The coolest thing about this year's Giants and Jets showdown is we're minus Rex Ryan. I think Rex Ryan beefed up this rivalry or game much more than it was supposed to. He kind of turned into this trash talking thing, which some people liked his attitude, and I liked his attitude, but now that he's no longer on my team, I kind of find it very aggravating. I like the way that Todd Bowles approaches things. I truly think the Jets have turned the franchise around with the front office. And we'll kind of get into that as well. I think Pryor came out and said something about Odell Beckham. That's dumb, because I consider Odell Beckham to be a significant wide receiver. Cromartie cannot guard Odell Beckham as much as he tries. I think we're better off putting Revis on him, and he's questionable for the game, but I believe he's going to be able to play. But the fact that Cromartie's coming out, or he came out a couple of years ago and just trash talk, or it was actually this year, Odell Beckham is silly because Cromartie hasn't been playing the way he played about 4 or 5 years ago. Let's get into the Dolphins game against the Jets. I didn't recap that game. Sorry, I've been kind of off with the Jets videos. Obviously, we lost against the Buffalo Bills team. But I got to say, the game we played against, and then we had that ridiculous loss in Houston too, where I don't think any of the team really showed up. But as far as the Dolphins game goes, that was probably one of the best overall team performances that I've seen. Ryan Fitzpatrick had one of the best quarterback performances, 22 for 37, 277 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, quite frankly, if you look at it, he's probably having one of the best quarterback seasons for the Jets in a while, since Chad Pennington days. Chris Ivory had that one amazing run. I mean, it's very hard to get this guy down. He had about 87 yards and 1 touchdown himself. Brandon Marshall has just been on fire. 9 receptions, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. Decker has been that number 2 guy. I mean, he's so reliable. And I truly love the way that Devin Smith rebounded, caught that touchdown. And you can tell the team has been supporting him. Ryan Fitzpatrick gave him another shot. That's the type of things you want to see in your players, to be able to coach and develop that individual, rather than calling him a bust and forgetting about it. Our defense, I thought, played much better. We put a lot of pressure on Tannehill. Again, I'm not seeing the amount of sacks as I like to see with the amount of pressure we do put on opposing quarterbacks. But one guy we got to start looking at is Marcus Williams. I mean, the guy's got a knack for interceptions. It's either I would love to see him starting over Cromartie, even though Cromartie played a much better game against the Dolphins. But I would love to see him start over Cromartie and still have Skrine as the number 3 guy. And I don't know about Crow right now, but he definitely improved against, the Dolphins. I thought Pryor was very dominant in this game. He showed, just basically him starting to become a star safety in this league. And Tannehill came out and mentioned something about him celebrating the Dolphins player's injury. If you look at the video, you can definitely see that Pryor did not see the player whatsoever when he was celebrating. And afterwards, a couple of Jets players even kneeled down and was kind of remorseful for what happened. I mean, it's a contact sport. I just don't want the Jets to be labeled what the Eagles are, or Eagles fans, or they do when they cheer on certain people getting injured. That's not the case. But even an amazing win that has led us to a 6-5 record. Definitely exactly where I pictured us to be this season. And now we are playing the New York Giants, who came off a terrible loss against the Washington Redskins. It's a game that both teams need to win. And I think, honestly, we have to be able to shut down their wide receiver. I mean, we've got to, if we have a double coverage Odell, we should. But they also have different weapons they can go to. But where this game kind of comes into play is which side of Eli Manning are the Jets going to see this Sunday? There are games where I've seen the Giants, and I could be wrong, from the Giants, is you can kind of tell from the beginning what type of game Eli is going to have. Either he's going to be hot, or the guy's just going to be cold and giving you that edge of shit in my pants type of face where you always see him on the sideline where he takes off the helmet. He's like, that's the face I'm talking about. So that comes from, being able to put a lot of blitz and pressure on Eli Manning to be able to make those quick throws. He's not the most mobile quarterback. And also, we just have to be able to run the ball. Run the ball and not have Fitzpatrick throw as much as he did against the Dolphins, because that's not going to work against the Giants. Run the ball and be able to find Brandon Marshall is the way I would like to approach this game. Again, I'm very, very happy with the season we've had. Again, I don't consider this Jets and Giants game to be much of a rivalry, but this game in particular has a lot of meaning for both teams. The Jets are definitely not going to catch up to the Patriots, but we're definitely in the playoff hunt, and we cannot afford to lose any more games if you look at it. I mean, Seattle did us a favor by beating the Steelers, but the race is so hot. You got the Houston Texans that are just constantly winning right now. You got the Steelers, which I consider them to be, really good and bounce back next week. And you got the Oakland Raiders breathing down our throats. So I definitely expect a very hard-nosed, hard-hitting football game. Quite honestly, right now at this moment, I consider the Jets a better football team for sure. My brother and I, we've been texting back and forth, just trash talking each other on that. But to sit here and say this is the one thing that bothers me. I'm a Jets fan, but I'm a realist at heart. We haven't accomplished a quarter of what the Giants franchise has accomplished. You're looking at 4 Super Bowls versus 1. So little brother title definitely fits the Jets at this moment. But if you honestly look at it, I truly appreciate the direction that the Jets have taken by signing Todd Bowles and, Mike McKagan as general manager. We've made some good decisions. One other thing I want to talk about is, people were really quick to jump on Devin Smith as being a bust. He's not a bust, I don't think. He just needs some time to develop. Leonard Williams, I'm a USC guy. And Leonard Williams, so far to me, he's got, a ton of tackles. He stuffs up that line, but he's not getting to the quarterback the way I want him to get. And I feel like this next 4 or 5 games is really key for him to be able to stack up on some sacks, and why not start this Sunday. Again, guys, thank you for watching. Please tune in. Probably next 2 days, I'm going to do a Knicks recap. They're having a hell of a season. All the Porzingis haters, that's all got to cease. To me, I think the one guy that we need to look at right now is Carmelo Anthony, with the way he's been performing, or the lack of. But definitely tune in a couple of days. I'll definitely do a Knicks recap. Again, thank you for watching Knicks Bros TV. Comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.